Welcome back, deep divers. Today we're going deep into the world of clean exteriors, but not just the how-to, we're focusing on the who. Matt Nelms and his company, Waterboy Soft Wash.
Sounds intriguing.
It is. Our main source is an article all about Matt and Waterboy Soft Wash, and our mission today is to figure out what makes him tick, what makes his company stand out, and maybe even pick up some tips for keeping our own places looking their best.
You know what's cool about this article? It really dives into Matt's story, and you can totally see how his experiences shaped the business. The article says he's a Chester County, Pennsylvania native, and with over 15 years in the pressure washing business, he's not just seen it all, he understands the specific challenges of the area.
That local expertise must be a huge advantage, especially when you're dealing with things like weather and different types of surfaces.
Absolutely. And it's clear he saw a need for something more than just the average pressure washing. The article mentions an early job where a customer practically destroyed their deck trying to DIY it with a pressure washer. It was a real turning point for Matt. Like, he realized there had to be a better way, a gentler way.
Okay, so that's where Waterboy Soft Wash comes in. They're all about that clean look without the collateral damage.
Exactly. He saw that people wanted clean homes, but not at the risk of ruining their property. The Waterboy Soft Wash was born. And get this, the article talks about Matt's meticulous approach.
Meticulous approach. That's pretty reassuring for someone like me who wouldn't know a pressure washer from a garden hose.
Me neither. But it seems like he's really obsessed with getting things right, not just blasting away dirt. And the article goes even further, mentioning how Matt is always looking into new technology and cleaning solutions, especially eco-friendly ones. He even attends industry conferences to stay ahead of the curve.
Wow, that dedication to the eco-friendly side is really interesting. What kind of solutions are we talking about here?
Well, the article specifically mentions biodegradable phosphate-free detergents. They're supposed to be way gentler on plants and the environment, but they still pack a punch when it comes to cleaning power.
So he's not cutting corners, even when it comes to being environmentally responsible. That's impressive.
It is. And his customers are noticing. The article even quotes one client who chose Waterboy Soft Wash, specifically because of their commitment to eco-friendly practices.
So we've got local expertise, a meticulous approach, and eco-friendly practices. But why choose Waterboy over any other cleaning service out there? What really makes them stand out?
Well, the article highlights a few key things. First, his nearly 20 years of experience. He's seen it all and knows how to handle any situation. Second, their focus on soft washing. It's gentle on surfaces, but super effective thanks to those specialized cleaning solutions. And third, the customer testimonials. People rave about his personalized service, how he takes the time to explain everything and address their concerns.
Personalized service is so important, especially when you're trusting someone with your home.
Totally. The article even mentions that he gives every client a detailed checklist of what to expect before, during, and after the cleaning. No surprises, just clear communication.
Okay, I'm sold on the why Waterboy, but let's get into the what. What services do they actually offer? And don't just list them. Paint me a picture. What's their specialty?
Their bread and butter, it seems, is soft washing. And this is where Matt's whole gentle but effective approach really shines. The article mentions it's perfect for delicate surfaces like vinyl siding, stucco, roofs, even fences and painted surfaces.
So what makes it so different from, say, just hosing down the house?
It's not just about water. Soft washing uses those specialized biodegradable solutions we talked about to break down dirt and grime on a deeper level. Plus, since it uses low pressure, there's no risk of damage. It's like giving your house a gentle bath instead of blasting it with a fire hose.
Okay, that makes sense. But what about for those tough jobs where you need a little more power? Like a driveway covered in, let's just say, years of character.
Ah, that's where the power washing comes in. The article talks about how Waterboy uses high-pressure, heated water for things like driveways, sidewalks, patios, concrete, even for commercial buildings.
So it's all about choosing the right tool for the job.
Right. And sometimes combining them. The article gives an example where Matt used power washing to get rid of the heavy grime on a brick walkway and then followed it up with soft washing to bring back the original color and texture without damaging the surface.
No, that's impressive. It sounds like they've got a solution for pretty much every outdoor cleaning need. What other services are on their list?
Well, there's house washing, which the article describes as more than just cleaning. They call it rejuvenating the look of your house.
Rejuvenated? What exactly does that mean?
So the article gives a cool example. They had a client with an older Victorian home that was, well, let's say it had seen better days. After a Waterboy house washing, the paint, which was all dull and dingy before, practically glowed. It highlighted all those intricate details, like taking years off the house.
Now that's a powerful visual. It sounds like a whole lot more than just removing dirt.
Definitely. And they also do deck washing and staining, which is a huge plus for homeowners. The article even quotes a happy customer saying their deck looked brand new.
Oh, I bet. My deck could definitely use a little rejuvenation. Anything else they offer?
They do it all, it seems. Commercial cleaning, roof cleaning, concrete and patio cleaning, fence cleaning, even exterior window cleaning. Top to bottom, they've got you covered.
Wow, that's quite a range. But where exactly do they operate?
It seems they're focused on Chester County, Pennsylvania. They specifically list Chester Springs, Coatesville, Downingtown, Honeybrook, and Westchester as their main areas.
That strong local focus is always nice to see. It's great to support businesses that are really committed to serving their communities.
Absolutely. And speaking of what sets them apart, the article calls it the Waterboy difference. It boils down to personalized service, reliable results, competitive pricing, and flexible scheduling.
Those are all big wins in my book. Personalized service, reliable results, good prices, and fitting it into your schedule. What more could you ask for?
It seems like they're all about making the experience as easy and stress-free as possible, which, let's face it, is something we all appreciate.
Definitely. And speaking of good experiences, the article mentions some glowing customer testimonials. What are people saying about Waterboy Soft Wash?
Let's see. One person raves about how Waterboy Soft Wash completely transformed their mildew-covered roof. It apparently looks brand new now. Another customer talks about Matt's attention to detail, how he even hand-cleaned their delicate wrought iron gate.
Wow, that's going the extra mile. What else?
Another one highlights the amazing customer service and how Matt was super flexible to work with their busy schedule.
It's always great to hear positive feedback from real people. Adds that extra layer of trust.
Definitely. It really reinforces what we've been talking about. Matt's clearly passionate about his work, and that shows in every aspect of Waterboy Soft Wash.
Okay, so we've covered a lot about Matt's journey to building Waterboy Soft Wash, their commitment to both quality and the environment, and their wide range of services. But what about the future? What's next for them?
Well, that's where it gets really interesting. The article hints at Matt's plans for the future, including expanding their services to reach even more people looking for that Waterboy difference.
That's exciting news for anyone who's been wishing for a Waterboy Soft Wash to appear in their town. What else is he thinking about?
He's always looking into even more advanced, eco-friendly cleaning solutions. The article mentions things like probiotic cleaners and even some type of enzymatic solution that breaks down dirt on a microscopic level.
That's next level stuff, always innovating.
It seems like it. And it all comes from his belief that you can have amazing results while still being kind to the environment. A win-win for everyone.
This deep dive has been truly fascinating. We've learned so much about Matt Nelms, his passion, and his dedication to quality and sustainability. But before we wrap up this part of our discussion, I have a question for you. What aspect of home maintenance do you find most challenging? And how do you think a service like Waterboy Soft Wash could help?
That's a great question. And a perfect segue to the next part of our deep dive. In this next part of our deep dive, we're going to look closer at the science behind soft washing and why it's become so popular for homeowners.
Ooh, that's right up my alley. Always love learning the how behind the wow, especially when it comes to keeping my house clean, without resorting to a hazmat suit.
Then you're going to love this. We're going to dig into those eco-friendly cleaning solutions Matt uses and see how they manage to be both gentle on the environment and tough on dirt.
Before we get too deep into the science, though, I'm kind of curious, what are some of the biggest misconceptions people have about exterior cleaning? I feel like there must be a lot of myths out there.
Oh, absolutely. One of the most common ones is that pressure washing is like the answer to everything. People see a dirty surface and their first thought is blast it away.
Yeah.
But as we've been talking about, that's not always the smartest approach.
Right. It's like using a chainsaw to prune a rose bush. Way too much power. What other misconceptions come to mind?
Another big one is that all cleaning solutions are basically the same. Like soap, bleach is bleach, and that's it. But it's actually way more complicated than that.
Oh, okay. So there's a difference between grabbing whatever's under the kitchen sink and using a solution designed for exterior cleaning.
Huge difference. And this actually goes back to what we were saying earlier about those eco-friendly options. Some cleaning agents might be great at removing dirt, but they can be harmful to plants or pets or even pollute the environment.
Which is why it's so important to find a company like Waterboy Soft Wash that really cares about both effectiveness and responsibility.
For sure. They've really done their research and chosen products that get the job done without, compromising safety or sustainability.
So if someone's thinking about hiring an exterior cleaning service, what are some of the key questions they should ask to make sure they're making a good choice?
That's such a good question. First and foremost, you want to ask about experience and expertise. How long have they been in business? What kind of training do their technicians have? You don't want someone learning on the job when it comes to your house.
Yeah, that makes sense. What else?
Definitely ask about the cleaning solutions they use. Are they eco-friendly? Are they safe for your specific surfaces? A good company will be upfront about their products and happy to answer your questions.
And what about the equipment they use? Is that something worth asking about?
Absolutely. The type of equipment can make a big difference in the results. A company that invests in good equipment is a company that cares about doing things right.
Right. And of course, don't forget about insurance. Super important for any contractor.
Absolutely. You want to be protected just in case of any accidents or damage. A good company will be fully licensed and insured so you can have peace of mind.
And of course, check out those online reviews.
Word of mouth is so powerful. Positive reviews from other customers are a great sign that a company is reliable and does quality work.
We've talked a lot about choosing the right cleaning service, but what are some things homeowners can do themselves to keep their exteriors in good shape?
That's a great point. Even if you hire a professional service, there are things you can do to keep things looking good between cleanings.
It's a team effort. The pros do the big jobs, and we do our part to keep things tidy. So, what are some simple things we can do?
One of the easiest things is to just rinse off your siding and other surfaces regularly with a garden hose. Helps prevent dirt from building up in the first place.
Super easy. Anyone can do that.
What else? If you see any mildew or algae starting to grow, you can usually treat it yourself with a mild bleach solution. Just make sure to test it in a small area first so you don't accidentally damage anything.
Great tip. Always test before you treat. Any other DIY tips?
Keeping your gutters clean is another important one that you can often handle yourself. Clogged gutters can cause water damage and other problems, so it's good to stay on top of that.
Right. And while you're up there cleaning the gutters, might as well give those windows a quick wipe.
Exactly. Even just wiping them down with a damp cloth can make a big difference in how your home looks.
So it seems like maintaining a clean exterior is all about being proactive and combining professional help when you need it with regular upkeep. It's about taking pride in your property.
Well said. And when you find a company like Waterboy Soft Wash that shares those values, you know you found a winner.
This deep dive into exterior cleaning has been so informative. We've learned about different techniques, eco-friendly solutions, the importance of choosing the right service provider. But before we move on, I have one final question for you.
I'm ready.
If you had to give our listener one piece of advice about maintaining their home's exterior, what would it be?
That's a tough one. But I think the most important thing is to be proactive. Don't wait until things are visibly dirty or damaged to do something about it. Regular maintenance, both DIY and professional, is the key to keeping your home looking great and protecting your investment.
Great advice. This has been a really interesting conversation.
It has. And in the last part of our deep dive, we're going to switch gears and go through the actual process of hiring an exterior cleaning service step by step.
That's a great idea. We've covered the why and the how, but now let's get practical and give our listeners the knowledge they need to make informed decisions. All right, so we've talked a lot about exterior cleaning, what it is, why it's important, and how it works. But now let's get down to brass tacks. Let's say our listener is ready to hire someone. Where do they even begin?
Well, the first step is figuring out what exactly they need to have cleaned. Is it siding, roof, deck, driveway? Each one might require a different approach, so having a clear idea of their needs is going to help them find the right company.
So step one, make a list. Got it. What's next? Just start Googling pressure washing near me.
That's definitely one way to do it. But don't forget about those good old-fashioned recommendations. Talk to friends, family, neighbors, anyone who's had some exterior cleaning done recently. Those personal referrals can be super helpful.
Especially when you can see the results firsthand on your neighbor's sparkling clean house. And online reviews can be useful too, right?
Oh, absolutely. Websites like Yelp or Angie's List can give you a good sense of a company's reputation. See what other customers are saying. Are they consistently praising the company's professionalism, attention to detail, communication?
So I've got my list of needs, I've asked around for recommendations, and I've checked out some online reviews. What's next? Time to start making some calls.
You got it. Reach out to a few different companies and get some quotes. Most reputable companies offer free estimates, so don't be afraid to shop around a bit.
And when I'm talking to these companies, what are some of the key questions I should be asking?
Well, we touched on some of these earlier, but it's worth repeating. Don't be shy about asking questions. Ask about their experience, their cleaning methods, the specific products they use, their insurance coverage, anything that's important to you.
This is also a good chance to get a sense of their customer service, right? How responsive are they? Are they friendly, professional? Do they actually listen to you?
Exactly. Pay attention to how they interact with you. Do they seem genuinely interested in helping you, or are they just trying to make a sale? Trust your gut feeling on that one.
Okay, so I've gotten my quotes, I've asked all my questions, and I've found a company I feel good about. What happens next?
Typically, they'll schedule a time to come out to your property and do a more thorough assessment. This gives them a chance to really tailor their services to your needs and give you a more accurate quote.
This is probably where Matt's meticulous approach really comes into play, right? He's not just eyeballing it from the street.
Exactly. He's taken the time to assess the condition of the surfaces, see if there are any potential challenges, and figure out the best way to approach the job.
I imagine this is also a chance for the homeowner to make sure they're both on the same page about any details or concerns they might have. Like, hey, please be extra careful around my prize-winning roses.
Exactly. It's a good opportunity for open communication and to make sure everyone is on the same page.
So the assessment is done, the quote is finalized, and I'm ready to give them the go-ahead. What should I expect on the actual day of the cleaning?
Well, a good company will show up on time with all the right equipment and ready to work. They should also take steps to protect your landscaping and any outdoor furniture from overspray or any potential damage.
And hopefully they'll walk me through the process, explain what they're doing, and answer any questions I have along the way.
Absolutely. Communication is key. A good company will keep you in the loop every step of the way.
Okay, the cleaning is done, my house is sparkling, I'm feeling pretty good. Anything else I need to do?
Most companies will give you some tips on how to maintain those results. This might include simple things like rinsing off your siding regularly or avoiding harsh cleaners.
And if for some reason there are any issues, I should feel comfortable contacting the company, right?
Absolutely. A good company will stand behind their work and address any concerns you have. That's all part of building trust and making sure you're happy.
This deep dive into the world of exterior cleaning has really been an eye-opener. We've explored the science, the process, the things to do, and the things to avoid. What are your final thoughts for our listeners?
When it comes to maintaining your home's exterior, remember that it's not just about how it looks. Regular cleaning can actually help your siding, your roof, your deck last longer. It protects your investment.
And finding a company like Waterboy Soft Wash, one that really cares about quality and responsibility and customer satisfaction, can make all the difference.
Absolutely. It's not just about getting things clean. It's about doing it right. With care, with expertise, and with a little bit of heart.
I love that. Well, on that note, we'll wrap up this deep dive. Big thanks to our expert for sharing their
It
insights.
was my pleasure.
And to our listeners, if you're in Chester County and looking for that Waterboy difference, you can find their contact info in the show notes. Thanks for joining us on the Deep Dive. We'll see you next time.